Hey everybody, it's Sam Amico here with another edition of Hoops Wire Live, the post-All-Star break edition on 330 to go. It's time to get serious, which is why I brought in and I'm joined by my good buddy, Booby Gibson, again, former Cleveland Cavaliers sharpshooter, probably would have won the three-point contest over this past weekend if you had competed. My money would have been on you, and I don't really bet, so that's a big step for me. So
the fact that Dame went got that thing after no games, I just tell you the level that my guy's shooting that rock on. These guys been traded, playing games all season long. He just hops off the couch and go get him another trophy.
Yeah, I know if I were one of the other guys, I would have been like, I just lost to a guy with an Achilles injury,
Yeah. That tells you the advances in medicine and the advances in the times that guys can be able to come back and ball. And I'm sure he's taking his time later in his career on coming back. So it was good to see. The three-point challenge is here to stay. I think every year guys can get hot and get it going, but some of the other stuff I'm not too sure about, Sam. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, the dunk contest is kind of, I think, run its course, maybe. As you said, Booby, on our Full Court Cleveland show, the unrivaled, or isn't that what it's called, the unrivaled game between the women that are one-on-one?
Yeah.
Maybe if you could do that in the NBA All-Star Weekend, I think that'd be something else.
Because I watched these girls ball, Sam, and I saw Paige play against Enrique, like the matchups that you get out there on the floor. And when the girls lose, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I probably would never play against you one-on-one in any other setting. So it's not like they take it personal and it's a knock on their ego. They just competing. And I think that's what the fans would want to see. They want to see Giannis and Wemby or, Ant-Man and Donovan just for a quick little matchup, or even Donovan and Wemby, right? Because now you get to see a matchup that you probably would never see. And Wemby probably does his thing, but I'm sure Donovan will have some. Actually, I don't know. You know what I mean? That would be the beauty of something like that. But I think guys get a little caught up in their egos and their brands, and they wouldn't want to risk losing to somebody and losing those bragging rights more than losing the game.
Right, and there's a lot of social media narratives that already impact professional athletes that I know I wouldn't want any part of that. Right. Because it's never positive. It's never like, maybe once in a while for LeBron, but he gets as much negativity on social media as he does positive stuff. I would like to see that maybe and have guys play for 10-day contracts. The guys that you don't know.
Man, you talking about some the bad boy Pistons. They're going to have to put some rules in that thing. Nobody scoring. Did you ever play 21 or 32?
Oh, yeah.
Like
21 or 33.
It would be like when you got 19 and you got to score that last point.
Flagrant foul time.
That's what that would look like. So at least with the stars, they're going to try not to hurt each other. They're going to make sure everybody gets out safe. If 10-day contract is on the line, you'll see a different jailhouse basketball might come out.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to the Cavs in a second, but sticking with All-Star Weekend, I know I was impressed with those games. I thought the guys played hard, but not hard enough to get, where it was dangerous. But they kind of walked that line a little bit, and I think that's what fans love, is seeing them compete and going out. And, people talk about that last game, and it was bad because I think the older guys, probably just got a little worn out. The younger guys had some rest in there. Yeah. And I even thought, that game wasn't good in terms of the final score, but the guys were still competing in that game, even though they had every reason not to. So I think that, what were your thoughts on the we didn't love the format, but the actual competitiveness I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the only thing. I think for me, when guys have that break in between games, it gives an unfair advantage to the team that just won. If they come back, like Ant-Man had just got hot, put his team in the overtime, and now here comes Bron and these guys, and we have to figure out a way to cool him off. So that was the only tough part about having the games. I think if they went back to East-West format, and then if you had Wemby still making sure guys know, we out here to take care of each other, not hurt each other, but play hard. I think the game would get back to where it was because we saw, I think, better dunks, better moves against better defense, which is what I think the fans want to see.
Right, and I think East versus West is the way to go because if the guys are going to play hard, I don't think the format matters.
Right, and then throw them jerseys back in there too. Let each player wear their own team jersey to show some love to put the badges on there. But I remember when they played that way. Yeah. That was when I fell in love with the game of
when they were
basketball.
Wearing their team jerseys.
Everybody had on their own team jersey. You had the darks versus the lights. Yeah. And that was kind of how you separated the teams. But people bought into it more because now you see your Cleveland Cavalier guy in his uniform out there balling. But to that point, they get a whole game to get numbers. That's what I like the least about the game. When you look at the all-time scores in the All-Star game, Donovan probably won't have an opportunity to climb that ladder because the last 2 years, I think last year they lost in the game that he played it, and this year he won, but he might have played 9 minutes total. Right. So I think giving the guys their celebration too. We took that part out of it where these guys get to play their minutes, and it's still a celebration of these guys being the best players in the world. We got a little caught up and just want to see them play hard when we should be letting the world know these are our top-tier guys.
Right, yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Speaking of top-tier, the Cavaliers are now entering this final stretch here before the playoffs, and, they've got – seems like they're getting a little healthier, knock on wood, and, getting closer to whole. But they'd been playing so well leading up to this stretch. Yeah. And now with James Harden, like I said, they finally got a practice in with him. One practice.
Yeah. Not just vibes, no more.
No more hooping on vibes. You got it in a practice.
Nice.
So, what are your expectations of them? And not necessarily expectations, but what do you think that their expectations are of themselves in that locker room and on the floor?
Yeah, I think we've been playing well, but I think for them, they get to start from zero. This will be the first opportunity. I'm not sure if Ev's back tonight, but it'll be one of the first opportunities that they get to see more of their cast of characters. We still got guys coming back, but more closer to what this team will look like come playoff time. This last stretch will be guys finding their roles, figuring out how they can impact the game the most, right? Because everybody won't always have an opportunity to get their numbers or whatever the case may be. But every night it could be a different guy, and that's going to be the beauty of this team. We'll be able to match up with any team come playoff time once we get guys to kind of buy into their roles and how they best can affect the team.
And how they when they figure it out, you could even play better. It's like, I know I'm playing this many minutes. Yeah. I know this is what I'm supposed to do.
Well, to that point, we won't know, and that's the scary. That's the scary part about for Kenny, right? We might whoever we have in the first round might not be as tough on the board, so you might be able to play a little smaller. But in my opinion, now with the ascension of Tomlin and with the ascension of some of these other guys, you could throw a lineup out there of Harden, Tomlin, Evan, J.A., and Tyson, and talk about defense and rebound. You know what I mean? So it's the beauty of this team is we haven't had everybody, but when we do, we'll be able to play a ton of different ways.
Yeah, and I think that really benefits you in the fact that not only can they play a bunch of different ways, but the new guys brought maybe that quote-unquote toughness that we thought, that a lot of people thought the narrative and, that clearly the front office thought we need toughness. On top of guys who can play, we need toughness, and I think that those new guys probably have brought that. How valuable is that when it comes to playoff basketball?
Oh man, it's the most valuable thing. Right? You gotta have some guys that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. We over the past couple of years, we've had a lot of great character guys, a lot of guys that'll shake your hand, help you up off the ground if they knock you down. That's cool. But come playoff time, ain't no friends. We're not cool. I don't want to know nothing about you other than we're about to beat you, and we can figure that out after we send you guys home. And we have guys on our roster now that we're not helping you up if you fall down. We might step on your hand, we might accidentally miss your head. And I think those are the type of guys that we needed on this roster, and that will put that fear in other teams, because in the playoffs in the past, we've had guys get hard fouls. We've had guys, just things that happen that, in my opinion, should force some retaliation.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think we got some guys on this team that don't got no problem running in the back of the locker room to make sure somebody meant what they said. So I love it.
Right. Well, obviously, big shout out to Kobe Altman for identifying the Cavs' needs and then going out and making those trades. Everybody needs a good general manager, which leads me to my next point. Booby Gibson.
Talk to him.
GM.
Yes,
Tell us about this.
I'm hoping to take a page out of Kobe's book, but for me, I looked at it as an opportunity to really help the youth.
And this is at Tri-C.
At Tri-C, yep, Cuyahoga Community College. I saw when the NIL happened, a lot of the high school players felt like they lost opportunities because the transfer portal opened and teams were just switching players.
Yeah.
And so what happened is at the JUCO level, the NAIA level, Division II, a lot of those kids started to feel like failures because they weren't getting that opportunity. And where I talked to the president at Tri-C, he was like, Booby, we want to make this more of a prep opportunity, an opportunity where these kids feel like they still have 1 or 2 years to not just get ready for basketball, but get ready for life with the opportunities that are out there. And Tri-C, they have a great academic setup, and if you add the athletic standard next to that, these kids can really be set up for life. And that's what I'm working on. I'm scouring the city right now, Sam, looking for the top players because I want to put together somewhat of a Cleveland super team. Right?
Sure.
I want to have some of the best talent stay home. We put together a program that helps them reach their goals at other schools. But now a lot of the other kids in the city don't feel like it's over if they don't get that scholarship from Ohio State or any of the big schools. There's a new format to how to get this thing done, and Tri-C is the perfect place to get started.
It is a good place. And I always, when the NIL came along, I always kind of felt like, there are a lot of kids who aren't getting money and aren't getting NIL that are good, really talented good players that are falling through the cracks. I always kind of felt bad for those kids, and I think that what you're doing here is a good opportunity for guys who aren't getting those recognition, because look how many people came up through the cracks, even into the NBA, right? Talk about like Craig Porter Jr., who went undrafted, Matthew Dellavedova, who went undrafted.
Keep going. You got one more on the team that's literally Tomlin.
Naquan Tomlin.
Didn't play high school ball at all.
Yeah.
Went to, I believe, Monroe Junior College.
Yeah.
Goes to another school, and now he just got a 2 or 3 year deal with the Cavs. So that, to me, his story is what I want to recreate. The Kawhi Leonards of the world. The Ben Wallace actually went to Tri-C.
Ben Wallace.
So bring him back around. And these colleges are looking at junior colleges now because they want older guys. They want guys with experience. So I want to put together a program, player development, strength and conditioning, academics, to where schools start to come to Tri-C and pull these kids for opportunities. And to your point, we could say a lot more won't be slipping through the cracks. We're going to start to plug some of them holes and figure out how to help these kids have a future.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you as a slipping through the cracks guy myself, I'm still kind of slipping through the cracks.
No, sir, not no more.
I'm still trying to find my way.
We rolling now. We rolling.
But okay, so the Cavaliers, what do you think is possible with this team?
Yeah, I go Lil Wayne. No ceilings. We ain't no ceilings. Right now, we have a team full of hungry guys that haven't won anything, and that want an opportunity to prove to the world that they all can win and that they all belong at a certain level and in certain conversations as the cream of the crop of this league. I think we put the team together to do it. Now it's about putting the mentality behind that team of that toughness, that togetherness, and everybody just buying into their roles. We don't need guys trying to get 30 and 40 a night or whatever, the fluff stats, when everybody trying to do the impactful stats that impact winning.
Right. Well, on that note, Booby, we've got to get going because I've got a birthday on February 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Booby has his on the 27th, and which is that's so great because what I get you is going to be based on what you get me.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. February is an awesome month, man.
And we had Mark Price's birthday this month, Michael Jordan's.
Yeah.
Dr. J's is the same day as mine.
Nice.
I'm sure you've got some NBA players that are the same day as yours, but we'll figure that out at the party. So,
suits and boots.
Suits and boots. Talk about that for a second, real quick. Before
I'm headed to Houston, and the culture back home is cowboys riding around doing their thing. So we're having a cook-off at the rodeo on the 26th. Where suits and boots. Everybody gets some good barbecue, and then on Saturday we're gonna have a sneaker ball for your boys, just to celebrate the big 4-0.
Wow. Wow, that's a landmark.
Finally crossing over and finally growing up now. Growing up, guys.
You know what? The 40s were probably the best era of my life.
Agreed.
I mean, I had my second child, and I had so much fun in the 40s. I'm still trying to have fun, but
I'm excited about it. I feel like I have a canvas to paint, and now in the past I was still learning a lot, but now that same canvas, I feel like I know everything that I want to do with it, so I can paint with intention.
Absolutely. Well,
I'm excited about the 40s.
Always appreciate you joining this show and working with you on Full Court Cleveland, and working together on our huge birthday bash. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. We will talk more about the Cleveland Cavaliers next week on Hoops Wire Live. See you then.